Hey everybody, Frank Chen here with REIClub.com, the only site you'll need as a real estate investor. Today I got a quick video for you on tips to building a detailed letter of intent. Now, like in all my videos, everything I talk about, I do include in the description below. Simply click show more and you can follow right along. So by definition, a letter of intent in real estate is pretty much a document that allows you to communicate the most important parts or aspects of your offer. Now, investors use letters of intent. In this case, let's use LOI, okay, to save time rather than having to complete an entire purchase agreement. Now, you can just fill out some blanks, especially if you've prepared a template, which we're going to be talking about today, and kind of send it out to as many sellers as you can, kind of just to see who bites. Now, you can send out a lot more LOIs faster than you can purchase agreements. Okay, kind of the main benefit there. Now, LOIs seem a lot more official to say unsophisticated buyers, but especially when agents are not involved. But keep in mind that most agents don't really like LOIs because they're not really official, okay? And I'll explain that a little bit later. Now, they can either be handwritten or they can be typed. It really depends on the formality of your situation. Say if you're dealing with a for sale by owner type homeowner, then you can just write it on a backup piece of paper, just have them agree, or say it's a more sophisticated type commercial property with more talking terms, then you can have a more formal letter of intent that way, okay? But understand that LOIs are usually non-legally binding, so a seller can actually prospect other buyers even if they have already agreed to you. Now, this is why speed of implementation is very important, which I'm gonna talk about in just a few minutes. But let's go ahead and jump into the components of what needs to be included into a letter of intent. I've included 10 items. The first item, and like I said, this could be on a white piece of paper. You can type this, handwrite it, depends on whatever your situation is. But the first component is your personal contact info or business information. Your name, your contact info, maybe your P.O. box information, your email. This is for the seller to get in contact with you. The next thing, one space below, is your to portion, where you're going to include the seller's name and their address just to make sure they know this letter is intended for them, okay? And of course, double space down after that, and the next thing is your brief Dear John, explaining your intent to buy. This is where you say, Dear homeowner, I have an interested cash buyer who loves your home, or hey, I'm interested in buying your home, all cash. I'm sure we've all received letters like this in the past. It only needs to be around 2 to 3 sentences, no more than a paragraph, short and sweet, because we're gonna spend more time on the part after this, okay? Now, right after your brief Dear John, we're going to do item number 3, which is going to be your desired purchase price. So you've done your research, you kind of know what the area goes for, and this is a fair offer, right? The next one, or next item below that, is going to be your inspection period and due diligence. Anywhere between 3 to 30 days. It really depends on the condition of the home and or if you're buying it as is. For me, I buy properties all cash as is. I give myself about a 5-day grace period. It allows me enough time to order inspection if there is a delay. Sometimes 3 days is not enough for me. Item number 5. A financing period. This is where you let them know, is this going to be an all cash offer? Have you been pre-qualified for a loan? For how much? Let them know how the financing is going to be taken care of. Okay? Item number 6 is your desired cash deposit or earnest money. Now, many times to get sellers on board, you can give them cash right then, or you give them a check right then and there to kind of secure the LOI, makes kind of happy, and also create terms for the earnest money. So sometimes money up front, and then of course some money towards the purchase price. It can be anywhere between as low as $10, I've seen that, all the way up to $1,000, which is the most standard, or even $1,500. Okay. Item number 7 is your purchase agreement deadline. Now, this is very, very, very important, okay? You want to let them know that you're going to draft up the formal purchase agreement based on the terms of the LOI, and that they're going to have within 24 to 48 hours to sign the formal purchase agreement. Now, for me, I like to do 24 hours, basically whenever they sign, 24 hours from that point. So if it's at 8 in the morning, 8 the following day, or noon the following day, or 2, 3, whatever you feel is the right time or convenience for everyone, okay? But it's your job to follow up with them. Now, item number 8 is your additional Additional terms. Now, this is where you include areas if you want them to fix the roof or fix a window or fix any details that you're uncomfortable with. But of course, if you're buying it as is, this part is unnecessary, just plain not applicable, right? And item number 9, broker and closing costs. Now, you don't want to hide any fees from the seller, especially if they're less sophisticated or not very familiar with the terms and don't want to surprise them later at the closing table, okay? A lot of offers, people back out then because they don't know what these costs are coming from. So be clear with, letting them know, is the seller covering the closing costs? Are you covering the closing costs? But understand that savvy investors usually get the seller to cover the closing costs, especially if it's an all-cash offer. You have that luxury. And the last and final item number 10, is the investor and seller signatures at the bottom. Signature, print, date. You can have them right above each other, or you can have them side by side, however much room you have on your page, or what do you think looks prettier, right? And I'm gonna leave you guys with some last and final additional tips. You want to be very, very, very clear with who you're addressing in your letter of intent. Make sure the spelling of their name is incorrectly. People take a lot of offense when you spell their name incorrectly. And all the other details, spell check, all that, okay? Next, be very specific with your purchasing terms. Important deadlines, important dates. Make sure you clarify these with the seller. And of course, make sure the seller is very comfortable as you're going through these terms. And last but not least, remember the information that you include in your LOI. It will more than likely be included in your formal purchase agreement. That's why it's very important that you get everything right. Otherwise, if you have to go back, fix these mistakes, have them come by initial, sign, it takes time, it creates frustration, and you may lose the deal that way, okay? Now, when the terms of your letter do get accepted, do not waste any time putting up the formal purchase agreement, getting excited, celebrating. Again, it's non-binding, so get the purchase agreement in their hands. And in many cases, you will use the LOI for sale by owner type deals to kind of fend off other investors preying on your territory. Now, again, guys, this is Frank Chen with REIClub.com. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, leave comments below about what you thought about it. Click the like button because it really does help us out. But more importantly, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can keep you informed when brand new videos just like this are posted every week. As usual, thank you so much for your time, your continued support. I look forward to talking to you next week. Take care, good investing, and bye-bye.